Okay, so if you, all things being equal, say somebody is willing and government has put considerable effort in restoring peace to our community. If you want to advise somebody that wants to invest in agriculture, which crop, which particular area you feel say the person fit invest on, minus the one wey we say we dey consume, say wey go produce money, because we are now also wanting to look at commercialized agriculture where people
Yeah.
can invest, can have exports, can make money and use it to also employ people as so. Which would be your best counsel to an interested entrepreneur in agriculture, interested farmer wey you know say if you invest put, there is a likelihood of at least 70-80% say you go make am if you invest in that particular area.
Okay, first of all, let me share my recent experience in agriculture so that
Mm,
it can buttress what you just asked. I love agriculture right from small picking, like
mm,
right from a child. So I
mm,
enjoy those things very well. And I decided to buy like 10 plots of land
mm,
in my home. And because of that, I noticed that in where I come from, Kogi State, the basic and the most expensive produce there is cashew
yeah,
nuts.
yeah, yeah.
Then we now go beans.
Mm,
Then we now have crops like cotton.
mm-hmm,
They have cotton there and all of that. So I decided to say, okay, I'll buy 10 plots for beans and I bought 12 plots for cashew. I bought it 2017 for the cashew and I plant cashew every year because I'm not there.
mm,
I'll just hear there's fire outrage,
mm,
burnt everything. I kept replanting because I'm not at home
mm,
and because I don't, the roads are not good for me to be traveling home anytime I want to. So the people over there, it is not, they have their own personal farm that they
mm,
attend to, so there will be no serious interest in mine. Then the one for beans, and I said, okay, since cashew own is having that issue, let me buy land close to the house, 10 plots and plant beans. And I bought 10 plots about 2 years ago, and I plant beans last year, January last year. And the woman saw when I bought the land for was so
enthusiastic.
yeah, that
Mm,
I can help you do this.
mm, mm.
I said, okay, no problem. How much bag of beans, how much beans do I need to buy for you to plant in that 10 plot? She said, one bag is enough. And I bought one bag of beans and I gave her to plant. Till the soil, everything. I spent money. Like when I say
Mm,
I spent money clearing, making ridges,
mm,
planting, weeding, and all of that. Only for December, I was waiting for harvest because those people that planted, even in Abuja, Nasarawa, they were saying, beans come out where this year, oh, beans come out where this year. So if like my sister planted in less than half a plot, almost a quarter plot, and she was getting close to half a bag, not
and,
more than half a bag, not even,
wow.
and she planted one rubber. She was getting that huge amount of beans.
And you that
So
bought 10,
10
10
plots. So
plots,
from her
you
own,
go
I was
already estimate.
expecting like 10 bags,
uh,
anything. Only for the woman to call me one day. And the funny thing is that because Nigerians are so funny to themselves, I feel the woman became very tricky because when she would call me, she would tell, my son, the beans that you harvest this year is so much. So because of that excitement, I was pumping more money into the system. She would just call me. The day she called me, I said, madam, it never reach time for harvest. He said, don't reach us. Then be one who call me. I said, okay, how much we need? He said, need to send 6 people when go carry go, when go they harvest every day. So each of them, I'll be paying them 60,000 naira every day. I said, okay, no problem. So for 6 people to be working every day, not 1 day, 2 day, 3 days, they were working for almost 5 days. For me, I just like, now so this means plenty. Where five
mm,
days, 6 people, they pay them 60K every day. Only for me to call the woman and say, mama, you never tell me how far the beans they go. He say remain small. Say that tomorrow they'll go the farm for the last time. I said, okay. So for me, I just said, let me stop paying. I paid for 3 days and I said, let me not pay again. If
if
they
the
harvest, may they sell
mm,
one bag or
mm,
two because beans was selling for about 160,000 to 200,000 per bag.
mm,
So and I said, use the money to
to sort
so
whatever
sort the
extra
bills.
expenses. Yeah.
And I called the woman one morning. I said, mama, this beans wey they harvest for over a week now, how far? Guess what the woman told me? Say na only one bag they don't get. I think that was my bad moment for the year. That
Wow.
ended my year. Like I couldn't control myself. When I can't imagine why some people they take poison, why some people they go
Wow.
extra mile doing evil, all of that. I can like something that I spent over 700,000. The woman will call, they need chemical, they need to go and weed, they need to do this. I was sending money. She was giving me one bag, 6 people for 5 days, they harvest. So I felt like maybe she was trying to pull my leg. So I kept quiet. 3 days later, I said, Mama, that's where you talk. You don't play for my head. He said, nah, he said they don't now one bag they don't get. Say the small one remain for farm. Say now that one that they work on now. Now say when you say the small, so that means it's a bag and half I should be expecting. He said, no, no, reach half. Oh. Immediately that was the last time I talked to her. I
Wow.
just gave her number to my auntie, and my auntie did the conversation. At the end of the day, it was one bag they got. And even after the one bag, they had took the bag to the market. The bag, they said they did not spray chemical. And you know when you do not apply the right chemical on time, the beans begins to have color. There's
Mm.
color, different colors, and people don't really want to buy. So they got to the market, they say, this beans, so you know the color no fine. So even the people who won't buy them, they just want use and take mix beans to full bag.
Hmm.
Say na like 60,000 naira they wan buy beans. I
Oh,
just told them, I say,
what
I
kind
don't want to collect
of
one
loss
naira
is
from
that?
that. So it is obvious that there are a lot of selling produce in Nigeria, and every farmer needs to understand the soil that produces more.
Mm.
Like I just said now, in Kogi State, if you want to really make business with agri produce, you go for cashew, you go for beans, you go for maize.
Mm.
Yes, even
Guinea corn.
guinea corn. Those are produce that you can make, and including oil, because Kogi still has oil. They're coming to Edo State, cassava.
Mm.
The soil is good for cassava. There was a time I harvest cassava from my den farm, and the cassava was as big as my leg,
Mm.
that big. And it was even close to my ribs. So people were like, I had to do a video of it. I was like, where? I say, na the small iriri there
Mm.
na I plant am. The soil was a virgin soil. The land was there. Nobody has planted anything there. So what came out from that was huge.
Mm.
Then in Benin again, oil is very, very
You
lucrative
mean
in
palm
Benin.
oil?
Palm oil, yes.
Okay.
Palm oil was selling at a point for 20 liters for 40,000 naira. So when you have the plantation, if you go around Benin City, you see palm tree plantation,
Yes,
especially
yes.
those of us that are traveling to outside Benin City,
Mm.
you see that it's a very lucrative business to go into. Then for startup, I always advise startup to start from maybe the basic things that people buy every day: pumpkin,
Mm.
vegetable, bitter leaf,
Mm.
pepper. Funny enough, my late uncle, when he was alive, he stays in Okada. He plant tomato, and every market days there are baskets of tomatoes that they come to buy from him to
Wow.
take to the market. So
Wow.
tomato goes well in some places of Edo State. Then when you cross to Benue yam, they do well with
Mm.
yam, they do well with egusi melon, very well there. I think that area. Then when you go to places like all those Akwa Ibom, those ones that palm oil produce and all of that. So for a starter, I feel these businesses, agriculture is a huge business. And
Mm.
when I tell people, there's a guy presently in Ogun State that does a training like NYC,
Mm.
where they host over 3,000 people from different part of Nigeria. Every state send people to there. They call it EIYA, EIYA.
Okay. Okay. I
Yeah,
think. Yeah.
yeah, where they train people in agriculture. A young guy, the guy is even less than 40.
Wow.
He has one of the biggest farm plants that trains youth every year, three months training, and people are going there to learn about agriculture. There are products that comes from there, so you can tell that for free, agriculture is a huge business that people are not going into. Like mechanic, they underrate it that is for dirty people.
Mm.
But what people get from there's a lady presently now that is one of the richest lady in Nigeria. She produce over one, I think 120 million tons of cassava every year, and she exports gari cassava out of the country presently. So if you check agriculture, it is a place. I think it's the next oil that the Nigerians are
Mm.
not looking into. And if you check the history of Nigeria, agriculture really brought us out.
Mm.
The groundnut era, the groundnut pyramids and all of that. Those were the things that the cotton, the cocoa. If you go to the
The
west,
rubber. Yeah.
cocoa, those ones sells very well. Presently, as I'm talking to you now, cocoa is one of the most expensive produce out of Nigeria right now.
Because it
So
is still very valuable.
very valuable. It produces
Chocolate and
so
all of
many
that.
products.
Yes.
Can over 14 products
Yes.
can
Yes.
come out
Yes.
from
Yes.
cocoa. So it's agriculture that people should look into now. Leave the white collar job. White collar job is choking a lot of persons now. The place is choked up. Nobody is employing. The only time you see employment is when somebody just walk out. They now look for a refill.
Mm.
But agriculture is open up. Anybody can venture into agriculture, focus on it.
And we have the arable lands that this
Yeah,
is.
there are virgin lands in everywhere in Nigeria. There are big forests. We have not even utilized 1% of Nigerian land mass
Mm.
in agriculture, in even development. We
Yeah.
have not. So
Mm.
thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Well
Thank
done.
you.
Well
Yeah.
done.
No be small inside, oh Jesus.
Have I even do with that here?
18